Okay, we're live.
Good evening, everyone.
All right, good evening and welcome everyone. Welcome. I can see some people have just joined the live session. So if you can hear me clearly, loud and clear, just comment the word, maybe scholarship, the one you want to have. If you want to get internship, put internship. If it's scholarship, type scholarship in the comment section so that we can know that you can hear us clearly. Welcome once again to everyone. This is more like a pre-launch webinar we're having for StudyBoosta. I believe that every one of us that are probably in this live session right away, you kind of have an idea of what StudyBoosta is about already because you probably have joined the community on WhatsApp. Oh, wow, I can see a lot of people want to get scholarship. Don't worry, it's very easy to get scholarship, so you actually get scholarship. So this is actually going to be a very amazing session. Uh, so before we get started, our speaker, number one speaker, she's here. She is so ready to deliver, and I can tell you for sure that the remaining few minutes and hours that we're going to be spending here is going to be one of the best moments of this year for you. In fact, it's so special that we're having this webinar in the first week of January. So this is more like going to set the course of the year for you. So you're going to be learning a lot of tips, a lot of ideas, a lot of strategies from their own personal stories, a lot of things that could literally help you start bagging scholarships and a lot of opportunities even as a student. So before we get started, so that we don't leave anyone behind, simply take a screenshot of this session right now, and you can go share it in the scholarship community. There's one of the community that we can all send messages, so you can just share it there and tell them we are live. The link the to this broadcast is already here. Share it there and tell everyone we are live so that they can join in. Our speaker is ready. Wow, I just saw one of our other speakers just joining us already. So we have two speakers live here with us already. So please and please share this even on your WhatsApp status. Maybe the flyer, you can preferably just share the flyer on your WhatsApp status and even add this one and tell them we are live so that we can actually get started. But before that, I am not actually the one you're going to be hearing tonight. We have someone who's going to be moderating this session, and she's excellently good at this. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me make welcome Deborah Onyekachuku as she takes over and bring on board our speakers as we get started. So remember, which opportunity do you want to get? Is it scholarship? I can see Samuel. Samuel, only you. You want to get both scholarship, internship, whatever. Type it in the comment section. Let's begin to see. And Deborah, it's The floor is yours. Yeah, hi Deborah, can you hear me?
Good evening, everyone. Can we all hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, I'm sure we all can wait. We all can wait to get started tonight. I myself am very excited. So, my name is Osisike Onyekachuku Deborah, and I'll be your humble moderator for tonight. Can we all hear me?
This is YouTube, so you can't actually even tell them they can't respond to you. The only thing you can actually get is to tell them maybe comment something so you will confirm if they can hear
All
from you.
right, please. Okay, please just let me know if you're following me. Thank you. So, as we all know, StudyBoosta is an educational tech platform that is set to transforming students' ecosystem. It's such a privilege to be involved in such a great plan, and it's all thanks to Mr. Morris. So we can, in order to appreciate Mr. Morris, you can just send a sticker of applause to him. So right about now, I want us to go straight to the point because our time is far spent already and we love to cover enough ground. So I urge you to pay rapt attention because in the next few minutes, you're about to learn a whole lot. We'll be having a lot of lovely persons speaking to us tonight. One-time students like us, yes, they were once students like us, and they were not just students, but they were students who graduated with distinctions, and they are here to enlighten us and speak about their journeys and experiences, and also share advices to us that we can also take as undergraduates or upcoming undergraduates. Are you still with me? Can we hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can move on. We're hearing you loud and clear.
So without wasting much of our time, I would like to welcome our first speaker. Our first speaker for tonight is
Okay, okay, okay. Seems like we just lost her again. We can't actually trust Nigerian network, but it's all fine. So right about now, we're still going to be moving ahead to bring on board our first speaker. So just give me a couple of minutes, and we'll have her on board. Okay, okay. Sorry, if you can hear me, just type scholarship. If you can hear me, type scholarship.
hello, can we still hear me?
Yeah, don't worry. Hold on, Deborah. Just hold on. Okay, okay. So you can hear me. All right. So our first speaker for tonight is Mmesoma Amaraizu. I hope I got your name correct. So Mmesoma is actually a mechanical engineering graduate and a software developer. She has a proven track record of academic excellence and leadership prowess. Also, if you definitely have seen the flyer, you know that everyone that will be speaking tonight was actually either the best graduate student in their department or in their faculty or in the school generally. So Mesoma was actually the best graduating female student in Futo and also the best graduating student in mechanical engineering, making her the first female student to achieve this feat in her department's history. Notably, Mesoma was a recipient of 5 undergraduate scholarships. Guys, she was a recipient of 5 undergraduate scholarships through her academic journey. Her fields was evident in her role as chair of the Women in Engineering of IEE Futo student branch, where she successfully championed inclusivity. Her extensive industry experience and at esteemed organizations like Mercedes-Benz, Tetragon, Slobenja, and System Specs Nigeria showcases her practical expertise. With a good or with a passion for robotics and artificial intelligence, Mmesoma hopes to make a lasting impact in the tech and engineering space. Guys, put it all for number one speaker here, Mmesoma. See, for it seems like we didn't hear the part where I said she got about five undergraduate scholarships. Guys, that is a lot. Like I can't even begin to explain in details, but definitely she's gonna be sharing her own experience with us. Miss Omar, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, you can go on. You can unmute yourself.
Okay, hello, everyone. Good evening. I hope you all are doing well. I'm Mmesoma Amaraizu. I don't think there's any further introduction to make. Maurice has said all that is to be said. I would start by sharing my experience, hoping that you pick up lessons and tips along the way, and that you have questions to ask eventually when it's time to ask questions. So I was a recipient of 5 undergraduate scholarships during my stay in Futo: the PTDF scholarship, MTN Foundation scholarship, NNPC Seplat scholarship, um, IMEKI grant for mechanical students in the building, and then I can't remember. Okay, yes, FSB, Federal Scholarship Board scholarship. So these are the 5 scholarships I received. Now my scholarship journey started in 100 level. When I entered school, I heard about scholarships, and I was I anticipated getting one. And the first step was registering on Scholastica. I hope you all know about Scholastica. I created a Scholastica account. Throughout my 100 level, I did not get any scholarship. So let me pause there and tell you one of the things I eventually found out about, maybe likely things that made me not get a scholarship then. So please, when you're uploading your documents on Scholastica website, ensure that they are very visible, in the right format, clear. Do not just upload things anyhow, randomly, just to upload something for uploading sake. There's a high chance that if you do so, you're not going to get shortlisted. Everything down to your passport, make it to be in the right format and very clear. So down to my 200 level, I kept on applying, and that's another lesson too along the way. Persistence is very important. It is said that persistence breaks resistance. So I noticed that a lot of people give up while applying scholarships. The truth is that you will not lose anything if you keep applying. It is said that you lose 100% of the shots you don't take. So you're not losing anything by continuously applying for these scholarships. So 200 level, I applied for PTDF scholarship. And if you are in 100 level, I would really advise that you take your academics seriously, because PTDF scholarship does not require you to write any exam. They just use your CGPA, and they shortlist, I think, the first 20 in each state or something of that sort. So if you're a 100 level student, I need you to really have good grades in 100 level. Imagine getting paid 1.2 million naira for the first payment just because you had good grades in 100 level. I'm sure everyone will want that. So my PTDF scholarship, PTDF, they delayed, and it was in 400 level that we were awarded the scholarship eventually. So let's say 200 level, I didn't get any scholarship. Then in my 200 level too, I got shortlisted for total NMPC total scholarship. Sorry, let me start with the first one, NMPC SNEPCO. And that was when I learned another lesson along the line. So I got shortlisted to write the exam, and I set out that day to write the exam. First of all, I set out to write the exam late. Secondly, before writing the exam, I don't know if they still do that, but they gave us a link to test for system compatibility. And in my small mind, I thought, my father's system would be compatible. Why would it not be compatible? And I just left it. And when it was time to write the test, lo and behold, I did the first test. There were a series of tests. One of them was the audio test, another one was an environment test. Time for me to do the environment test, and no, the audio test alone delayed. I had to go and do something to the laptop, and then it worked. Then I proceeded to the environment tests, and it wasn't working at all at all. I tried all I could, and it was already getting late. I tried getting to cyber cafes, they were already shutting down. I tried all I could that day, even up till 11 p.m. at night. 11 p.m. I had to go to my auntie's office by 11 p.m. Tried, because she works in the hospital, tried all I could, and it just wasn't working. And that was how I ended up not writing SNEPCO exam or even getting the scholarship. So my advice and the lesson I learned from here was that you should try to check your system compatibility before the exam. Ensure that your system has passed all the required checks, especially if a scholarship is generous enough to give you a link to test your system compatibility. Please ensure that your system checks everything, every single box. It is really important. Moving on, I applied to NMPC Total scholarship, and I wrote the exam and I did not get the scholarship. Now, I also learned a lesson from there. It looks like every experience was a lesson for something else. So the lesson I learned there was that I did not prepare adequately for that exam. I was so blank because one could say that that was my first scholarship exam, and actually it was my first scholarship exam. I was so blank. Please and please try to prepare adequately for the exam, because it wouldn't make sense that opportunity meets you unprepared. It doesn't make sense at all. So that opportunity met me completely unprepared. The exam was just something else. After the exam, I started consuming Dragnet materials, the study pack. If you have Dragnet, if you're looking to apply to scholarships, I really recommend Dragnet study pack, especially for scholarships that like MTN scholarship that use Dragnet. Equally internship. When I wrote Chevron internship exam, I didn't even have to prepare much, and I eventually got it. It was the Dragnet study pack that helped me a lot. That I already consumed that helped me. Moving on, I did not get total like I said. So I continued applying, and then a 300 level, MTN scholarship was rumored to be one of the last scholarships for undergraduates. First of all, that is a lie. The rumor is a lie. It is what it is, a rumor. So I was really hoping to get MTN scholarship, and then I applied for the scholarship, prepared for the exam using Dragnet study pack, and I just kept trying to prepare and all of that. Eventually, I got MTN scholarship. Sorry. So when MTN scholarship came, the next scholarship exam I wrote, I think yes, the next scholarship I wrote, I think it was even the next week, was FSB scholarship, Federal Scholarship Board, Nigerian Awards. To be very honest, to be very, very frank, any student could write that scholarship easily and get it. So I would say any student could write that scholarship. That was the easiest scholarship exam I've written in my entire life. The questions just seemed very basic, like secondary school questions. I would advise you to read though, because there were things in current affairs that were there, and of course, a lot of us are not conversant with current or well read or conversant with current affairs. So I would still advise you to study, at least study your current affairs, so that you know that other things are already settled. So I wrote the FSB scholarship exam, and I got the scholarship. Another one that I got was SEPLAT, like I said earlier. So for SEPLAT scholarship, when I wrote the exam, I think I can't remember how that particular exam went. It was just fair. It was just fair. For the IMEKI grants, I don't know if there are mechanical students in the building. If there are mechanical students here, I think you should reach out to your department to ask them about IMEKI grants. They pay students, they give scholarships to mechanical engineering students. So ask your department about it. So this one is department specific now. it's remaining one scholarship, and I can't remember. Can't remember. I've talked about, okay, PTDF. Yes, I think I mentioned it earlier. Yeah. So you can see that a lot of these scholarships, SEPLAT, from your 200 level students and above are eligible for SEPLAT scholarship. When I got SEPLAT scholarship was in my 400 level. So imagine if I had stopped applying after my 200 or 100 level, I wouldn't have gotten here. So I think one of the key things in scholarship applications is your persistence. Just keep trying, just like every other thing in life. Just keep trying till you hit your gold mine. The iMakey grant was in my final year. SEPLAT was in my 400 level. MTN was in my 300 level. PTDF, although I had applied in 200 level, and PTDF and FSB, I had applied in 200 level, and I think I was awarded in my 300 level, or I can't remember exactly. So yeah, that's the first thing. The second one is to ensure that, second lesson I learned overall, like I said earlier, is to ensure that you upload very clear documents, accurate information. Please let your information be consistent. Another thing again, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be telling students this thing. I think everybody should know this, but I noticed that a lot of people make this mistake. The mistake of not checking your mails. How can you apply for something and forget to check your mail? Please ensure you check your mails whenever you make any application. Keep checking your mails to know when they've shortlisted you for an exam. Also, try to join the right. Another way to get exposed to all the scholarships is to join, or to know when they come out. Scholarships and internships too is to join groups. I don't know if you've heard of scholarship region, or I don't know. Join like-minded students that are very, very conversant with scholarship applications, so that they will help you get acquainted with all this information. So and also checking system compatibility. I think every other lesson I learned, I already said them in between. So yeah, this was my experience applying to scholarships. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mmesoma. Debbie, can you hear me? Oh my gosh, seems that our network is still giving out issues, but no problem. So we'd move on. Thank you very much, Mmesoma, for this amazing session. Like, I think you mentioned about two scholarship opportunities that I was not even aware of. Mostly that IEE you talked about. I'm very sure a lot of people have picked a lot of things from the
I did not say
lessons.
IEU. I said IMECI grant.
Okay, IMEC.
I mechanical. I think international mechanical something grants. So your
Okay, okay.
department should know about it if you're in mechanical engineering. And you'd be surprised that maybe other departments have the same initiative too, but you are not aware of it.
Exactly. And that's like the major thing. In fact, I would say most people who do not even get some of these opportunities is because of lack of information. They don't know that some of these things are,
Exactly.
and that's part of what Study Booster is actually about. So I would say you are actually already in the right place at the moment. So thank you very much, Ms. Omar. We'll be moving on to the next speaker as soon as possible. But remember, we'll be having a Q&A session at the end. So if you have your question, you can start typing it and saving it somewhere so that when it's time for Q&A, you can actually ask directly. So our next speaker that we'll be bringing on board is Dorcas. Dorcas is such an amazing lady. I connected with her. We were actually connected for a while on LinkedIn and Facebook. I didn't even know it was when she eventually posted her graduation stuff. That was when I like, oh, so this lady is actually a very amazing person, and I'm very sure you're going to be learning a lot from her. So, Dorcas Rotimi is a distinguished physiotherapy graduate from the University of Nigeria. Do we have any student from UNN here? Please rep your university if you're from UNN. Please let's just do that. You can rep your university. Type your university that you are representing here. So she's a graduate from Physiotherapy University of Nigeria. She graduated the top of her class with distinction. Throughout her academic journey, Dorcas discovered her knack for leadership, guiding her class for 5 years and co-founding the Just Like You initiative, a movement that a movement that challenges stereotypes surrounding physically disabled children. Dorcas is also very intentional about the SDGs, as the Sustainable Development Goals, through her leadership, project, and volunteering efforts. Dorcas have impacted over 2,000 people, inspiring meaningful change in her community. A lot to learn from her, and what best method can we use to learn than actually listening to the horses herself? So we're going to be bringing the cast on board. Pay attention and, of course, draft your question so that when it's time to ask them question, you'll be able to ask. Thank you very much and welcome on board, Dorcas.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Maurice. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Good evening.
All right, thank you so much. I would like to just say a very big thank you for this opportunity to speak with students who I was once like. It's always a privilege when I get to speak to undergraduates and students because there's so much to learn and so much to pass, on to the next generation. So I'm appreciative. Um, I graduated. Like you said, I'm a physiotherapy graduate from the University of Nigeria. Um, I was asked to talk about my undergraduate journey. So let me just share a snippet of my undergraduate journey with you all. I got into school in 2018 as a young girl, a very, very young girl. But if there's one thing I would use to describe one word I would use to describe my undergraduate journey, I would say my undergraduate journey was interesting. And my reason is because there were a couple of highs and lows. It wasn't just something that was static. And because I was going into a course where it was relatively new, I would say not so new, but it wasn't something that a lot of people really knew about. And even I myself, I was just getting to know a lot about the course at that stage where I imputed it in my jam form. So it was a very interesting journey. And I would say if you're just getting into school, one thing I would advise you to do is to know what you want. At the end of this journey, what do I want for myself? What are the things that I want to say at the end of the journey that I have accomplished or that I have achieved? And somebody like myself from a very young age, I always like to write goals down. So if I'm coming into the new year, I have specific goals that I want to, achieve. And I know a lot of us have heard about the SMART principles for setting goals. There are a lot of people who set very, very unrealistic goals. There are people who set goals that they know they don't have systems in place to achieve those goals. So one thing I would advise you to do is at the start of every semester, at the start of every academic session, have a set of goals that you want to achieve. And beyond having those goals, you're setting those goals based on the SMART principle. The goals it must be a SMART goal, it must be specific, it must be measurable, it must be achievable, it must be realistic, and it must be time bound. So usually what I do is for every session, I write what I want to achieve. And then I break it down to semesters. So for my first semester, what do I want to achieve in this semester? What are the goals for my grades in this semester? And I actually put down plans to achieve those grades and whatever goals that I have set for myself. That is one thing you need to do, because for somebody who doesn't have an ambition or a purpose, the person just goes with the flow, and going with the flow is not for people who are intentional about themselves. So for you to be a very high achiever, or for you to be someone who is successful, you must know what you want for yourself and actually plan for it. And I'm somebody who had a personal student curriculum, and that is what guided me. Another thing I would say to you is always do the extra 1%. If there are things that, if 90% of the class will stop at this particular point, go beyond that point. For someone who wants to achieve excellence, you must always be 1% ahead. And then you have to be exposed. Talking about scholarships, if you're someone who is a loner, you won't get exposed to scholarships and all these other opportunities. So get to find out what are the student groups that are available, what are the opportunities that are available. Get to know people, interact with people, get to know what is happening in the students' bodies, what opportunities are available. Join your departmental associations, be aware. And let me quickly go into my scholarship journey, because I was able to secure one scholarship. The person who spoke before me got five scholarship, and I was wowed. I was really wowed. And I like what she said. She said something like persistence breaks resistance. And that is just a summary of my own story, because I had struggled to get scholarships. And because as a medical student, or as someone who is in the health science field, it's usually difficult, because we only do our CGPA is only counted in first year. And so that first year result is something that you have to really have a very, very high grade to say you want to use to secure a scholarship. A lot of people were not aware. And after the first year of study, what we start grading you based on pass, distinction, and fail, and stuff like that. So it's usually difficult to get those results out. So we usually use our first year result. So for somebody in that very unique terrain, it was quite difficult for me to secure a scholarship. I applied for a couple of scholarships, applied for NNPC, SNEPCO. I actually got to the examination point. I wrote the exam, but I don't know what happened after, because I wasn't shortlisted. So let's say I wasn't successful in that one. I also applied for there's a scholarship called the WAG Scholarship, Nigerian Women Association of Georgia. It's for women, it's for females specifically. So that's a very interesting scholarship to go after if you're an undergraduate, because they select it two persons per state, and I think they pay about $200. It's a one-time scholarship. And then there's the FSB scholarship, which I finally secured in my 300 level after years of pursuing scholarships. And like the previous speaker before me said, one thing to never do is to never give up, and never buy into, at some point I was even starting to believe that scholarships were reserved for some certain people, because I saw some people getting scholarships and I wasn't getting. But I refused to buy into that mentality, because I felt like these things, for these people to be getting these things, then there's something I'm not doing right. And I began to find out, okay, what am I not doing right? Where do I need to get it right? What are the steps that I need to take to get it right? So these are some of my this is how my journey went, and I eventually secured the FSB scholarship. So now I can come out and say I was also a scholarship recipient while I was an undergraduate. And really, it's a beautiful experience, because it gets to sort out a lot of things for you. The FSB scholarship pays you 250,000 naira from the year you were awarded till you graduate. So imagine getting $250 from your first year, 250,000, sorry, from your first year, and you are doing a 5-year course. So that is about 1.5 million that you accrue, as a student. Now think about people who have multiple scholarships and how they were doing in school. So it's really something, a lot of people say excellence doesn't pay, and I just laugh, because if you're really excellent at what you do, you will find that is one of the easiest ways to actually even make it in life. Really, if you look at people who got first class or who really excelled in what they're doing, it's easier for them to navigate life, because they've gone through the hard route. And excellence is something that you can achieve. Every single person can achieve excellence if only they put their head down and study and do what they are supposed to do at the right time. So I wish everybody the best. Always try to be ahead, try to be one step ahead, try to know what's happening in your surroundings, and never be someone who doesn't, you know, invest in relationships and reach out to people. These are one of the ways you build your social capital. And I think that is all I have to say. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you learned a great deal.
Yo, thank you very much, Dorcas. Like there are just a lot of nuggets that you just shared, and I'm really, really grateful. You see that part of um feeling like, oh, am I not going to get any scholarship again? I will not say I had that, because by God's grace I got my first scholarship in my 100 level actually. But it was not like a very popular scholarship. But at least they were paying me I think about 150K every year. Then it was until my 300 level I got MTN scholarship. And then say I was no longer very, very serious. But God just helped me and I just got that scholarship. But another thing I would even want to share is the fact that very true, mostly in your 100 level, I tell you, try as much as possible to have a very good grade. 100 and 200 levels, those are like the real defining moments of scholarship. Of course, in your 300 level, you still be getting, but in that 100 and 200, that's where you just be seeing scholarships back to back. So if you actually have a very good grade, like our first speaker, Mmesoma, actually mentioned, I had a lot of coursemate that some of them didn't even graduate first class eventually, but they got FA, PTDF rather. PTDF was paying them about 1.2. That period, everybody in the class were like, Kai, why did PTDF not select me? But our 100 level grades, everybody that they selected in my class, at least their grades were actually higher than mine with just a little thing. Oh, that would just be like if I was serious in a course and the course I probably got a B. If I had gotten an A, I would have gotten that scholarship. So don't think, oh, school is scam. All these people that will always say this stuff, people are cashing out with scholarships, and I can tell you for sure that if you really put your head down, get access to the right information, which you also be getting in the booster community, and be around the right set of people, you just see a lot of doors opening with all of these opportunities. Thank you very much once again, Dorcas. Definitely you'll be coming on board eventually for the Q&A session. But for now, we'll be moving on to our next speaker. So our next speaker is an amazing guy from Futa. I see a lot of people have been repping their schools, Futa, in the comment section. So Futa, this is your time to shine. Okay, so our next speaker coming up on board is Mr. Joshua Oluwasegun Ajakaye. I hope I got that correct. So, Mr. Joshua is a shining example of dedication and hard work. He graduated as the best student of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, for the 2023/2024 academic session with a remarkable achievement that reflects his focus and determination. Definitely a C. Let me just be sincere. I will not be able to read everything. But by the time he starts speaking, you would see every reason why you should definitely listen to him. Now, to just wrap it up, Joshua's journey hasn't been without challenges. After failing short on his first jump attempt, he refused to give up and came back stronger, eventually earning prestigious scholarships like the PTDF, in-country scholarship, and the Federal Scholarship Board slash National Award along the way. His story is one of resilience and inspiration. Joshua loves inspiring other students to aim high. He often shares tips on academic excellence and winning scholarship. In his free time, he enjoys connecting with people and engaging on posts on LinkedIn and relaxing with good movies. Joshua is definitely going to be an amazing guy from what I'm saying. All right, Joshua, the floor is yours. And yeah, we're listening. Thank you. Yo, I can't hear you. Can we hear him? Please, if you can hear Mr. Joshua, comment something. I don't know. Hi, Joshua. Can you hear me? I don't know. I actually can't hear you. I don't know what's wrong. Hi, Dorcas. Can you hear Joshua?
No, I can't.
Okay. Seems like he's having a bit of network issue right now. Okay, okay, okay. So let's just hold on a bit. So Joshua, you can just leave the call and join again. So maybe you can just leave the session, leave the live call and join again. But while we wait a bit for Joshua to come back, yeah, welcome once again. Kosi Mo Emmanuel said he's from Futa. So just as we were saying, please rep your school. Let's know the school that's here. Are you from Footmina? Are you from wherever? I think there are some students from Covenant here. When I was checking those that registered for this, I saw some students from Covenant University, Unilag, Uniben, Uniport, UI, LASU, and a whole lot. So just represent your school here. And of course, please let other people know let other people know about Study Booster, what we're doing here. If you've definitely joined the Study Booster community and you've registered for this event, you should have an idea of what Study Booster is. And it's a great platform that you shouldn't just keep to yourself. Definitely, you don't want to be the only one to get all the scholarships. So share with other people, let them come and join the Study Booster community and get to know more about opportunities that are available to them. And Study Booster is even far beyond just scholarships and internship opportunities sharing. There are a whole lot of things that will be coming up. So please and please take a screenshot. If you're in the community, take the flyer, share it on your WhatsApp status, share it on your class group chat, and let others benefit from this great initiative. Okay, so I can see a lot of people have been representing their school. Matilda is from Unilag. So while Joshua will still be coming up on board, I think we might just have to invite another of our speaker that is here already with us so that we could try and close as early as possible. I hope that's okay. Okay, so our next speaker that we'll be inviting on board. Wow, we have University of Uyo here. Thank you. So our next speaker I will be inviting here is she's actually very quiet. I think she's very quiet because from the conversation I've had with her, she's always calm. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are from the great Obafemi Awolowo University, please rep yourself. Okay, Joshua is here already. Okay, hi Joshua, can you hear me? Wow, this is cool. I can't hear you actually. The signal is not even showing on your icon. Okay, so I'll have to remove you. We'll try and see what's going on. So let's have our next speaker. Then Joshua will come up next after our next speaker. So if you are from the great Obafemi Awolowo University, please rep yourself because the next speaker is actually one of your own. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me as we welcome Akinyuwa. Hey, I'm sorry, Suzanne Busola from Idanre, Ondo State, Nigeria. She attended Seba Model Christian Girls College in Akure, serving as sports prefect and emerging as a school best graduating student in 2015. So you can obviously tell that the oil has been flowing from from the beginning. Then also as a pharmacy student at OAU, that's Obafemi Awolowo University, Busola received the OAU Star Faculty of Pharmacy Award for two sessions, 2019, 2020, and 2021/2022. Busola also benefited from several scholarships, including the MTN Foundation and federal government scholarships. With diverse interests in research, specifically drug discovery and finance, Busola is an entrepreneur who runs the BOC Jewels, a jewelry company, and has sold numerous jewelry pieces. So imagine scholar combining entrepreneurship. Guys, give it up all for Busola.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Please, can you hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah, good evening.
Okay. So first, I'd like to thank the organizers. I think the person speaking for like the privilege to speak to people. I really appreciate the privilege, and I do not take it for granted. So I've been told to talk about my story, scholarships, and all. So first, my story. Let me just wrap it up. I didn't get pharmacy initially. I think I wrote jam 3 times. At first, it didn't work. I wanted Unilag medicine. Then later, I had to go for OAU pre-degree. After pre-degree, I didn't still get pharmacy. So later, I just like I had to take another job again while I was a student, and finally getting to study pharmacy. But my story, one thing that is very important, and I always say when I'm given like the privilege to speak, is that my story is the story of grace. Like God has really favored me, and like I acknowledge God in all I do, because really I'm nothing without God. No, He has brought me this far, and I'm really grateful to God for that. So as a student, as a pharmacy student, I remember when I chose pharmacy, someone told me that why go for pharmacy in OAU? Like OAU is one of the pharmacy is one of the toughest courses to study on OAU campus. But me, right from like always believing in myself, I've always had this mindset that if people have done it, I can do it, and I believe in whatsoever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. So I always like give my best. I believe that school is a phase that will also pass. So I don't want to think back and wish I could do better. So I always like motivate myself. And also one of the first things I would like to say tonight is people should like as students as undergrad having the right mindset. No, don't let people get you. Don't be moved at what people are saying. Actually believe in yourself. Believe that you have all it takes to be a success. Really, people tell me I have two heads. I know that I don't have two heads, just one. But then I've like encouraged myself. I've believed in myself, and this will motivate you to doing extra, really, like when it comes to studying in school and all. And that's how I would like to say is hard work, based on my faith. I know that here that a man diligent in his business will not stand before mere men, but before kings and nations. So diligence, you've got to be diligent, as a student. You've got to put your best whatsoever you do. And another thing that happened while I was in school was determination and focus. Like I think one of the speakers said, talked about setting your goals there. Because at the beginning, that's what I do as a student. I mean, that's what I did when I was a student. I used to set my goals at the beginning, just to like having your plans. What do you really want at the end? This will help you. If you know that you want an A, you read for like 90A, so that you know that if anything happens, you come back to 80A or maybe 70. So you have to set your goals, like what do you really want? What do you want to achieve at the end? Also, you've got to be focused. There are a lot of distractions in school, so many things, but like I said, there's time for everything. So having them and knowing that really there's a time for whatsoever. There's time to play, there's time to be serious. When you're in school, it's time. There are a lot of distracting activities in school, really, but you just got to focus and know what you really want. Also, resilience. I think that's the last point I'll talk about. People see me and say maybe I've not failed before. It's a lie. I failed before. But the failure is not, that's not who you are. It happened maybe due to one or two reasons, but you are a success. That's who you are. So getting back after like those periods and just telling myself that no, I have to do extra. What did I do then? What do I have to do now? Don't let failure weigh you down into like getting what you really want to get. You can get up again. Don't let failure should not define you. You are a success. So that's what I have to say. Also, okay, regarding scholarships, as a student, I benefited from quite. I can't remember some really because some are not really like titled, but there was one. Um, is a faculty scholarship. So for pharmacy students, they normally give like faculty of pharmacy for the best students. So I got one. Second was MTN. I was really lucky because MTN they prefer to give to people that are in tech, but I don't know. Like I said, my story is the glory of grace of God. I was the only one that, even not, I think the only maybe OAU student or something that was, and I was from faculty of pharmacy, so I benefited from it. Also, FSB, that's federal scholarship. That's a common scholarship, and a lot of people benefited from it. And I couldn't benefit from some too. It's not because I didn't have the grade, because I've always been excellent right from time, but I didn't know. So something about scholarship is being like, for there are a lot of people that were not doing, like they are maybe just average students in my class, and they benefit from more scholarships than me. So you have to, when you get scholarship, you have to be updated. You have to work with people that are like, maybe you have to join, and that's why there's a community like this, like StudyBoosta, helping you so that you have up-to-date information. Because I didn't have those information, so later I got to know about them, and maybe because, so you've got to like you've got to be updated when you get scholarship. You've got to like work with people that are also interested in this thing, so that you guys will find out like what those things are about together. So I think those are the scholarships I can remember. So I think I just like to encourage everyone people undergraduates, like this community is a good way. Like I'm just encouraging you to be a part because it gives you privilege. Don't be like me. Although I'll still opportunity to benefit from some, but I could have gotten more. I think there was a guy in my class that was on like maybe 5, 6 scholar, and they were just even average students. You get so like get to like is it register for whatever it requires to be part of this community. Just do, just so that you'll be able to get this information, and they will really help you. Scholarships give you an edge. I remember that even benefit from those scholarships in my class because they pay yearly. I was like, people used to ask me then, although they know that like I do business and all, but it helped me in school because why really when you have money to spend in school, when you have money to eat, we go for nice classes then. So when you have money to buy this, buy that, it gives you an edge. I used to tell myself that once I have food and or what else, let me sit down with the book and read. So imagine that you can afford certain things, or there may be like just extra things for yourself through the scholarship money to help you. You don't you just it will help your reading because I think money helps me when I have money. I read better because I can buy whatsoever I want. So just for me to sit down there and read. So it will help you. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to look for one or two things you get because you can afford them. So those were one of the things that scholarship did for me. And the opportunities are there. Like people said earlier. People don't just know. So you've got to like be in a community like this. Thank you so much for having me. I think I was able to do well with it short time. Thank you so much.
Guys, put it up for our OAU BGS. I told you she's a calm. I think if you are listening to her, it will sound as though you're actually listening to your mom. Like that time where your mom is giving you advice. Thank you very much, Susan. We really do appreciate. There was something she said, which was, when you have money, you can actually read well. When you are broke and when you are picking that book, you will just be angry with the book when you are broke. But when you have these scholarships, sometimes they just wire you 300K. Like I think almost everyone here that said they got MTN scholarship, the last payment that were paid, MTN was always paying 200K. But just this year they increased it to 300K. Everybody was super excited. So it's really a great opportunity for you that you should start leveraging. Don't be that person that will say, "Oh, I don't have the best result." Fine, we are all advising you get the excellent result, get the best result. But even when you don't have it, I think Mmesoma mentioned it that there is no harm in applying, bro. Just apply. Like I think the MTN I even applied, I was skeptical because I was like, there are other people that are very good in other departments too. Am I sure I would get it? Well, I just applied and I received the email. Even the day I was writing the exam, I was scared. So I was like, this exam, am I sure I would get it? And that was it. But you always meet 100% of the shots that you never take. So I know Susan told us that, oh, she didn't get a lot of scholarship because she probably didn't apply for a lot. But if she had really been applying for a lot, I know someone who got about up to five. I think the guy was literally getting like 1 point something million every single year. Guess what? The guy didn't graduate first class. Am I saying first class is bad? Definitely not. Everybody that is here speaking, they graduated first class. But bro, even if you're not on a first class, as you are seeing the opportunity, ensure all your documents are intact. In fact, one of our other sessions that we'll be having will definitely be teaching everyone about how to build a good relationship with your maybe HOD, so that every time, because some of the reasons that why some people do not even apply is because they don't even know how to reach out to their HOD to give them signature, or before the HOD will bring his signature, the scholarship have expired and you've missed that opportunity. But something that we used to do back then, we had a very good relationship with our what's it called, the secretary to our HOD. So whenever we have any scholarship need, even if tomorrow is the deadline, they will surely sign it. So even if other people will not receive their signature, our own department will shall get that signature because of good relationship. So thank you very much, Susan, for joining us tonight. Of course, we're going to be having the Q&A session. So please ensure you have your questions typed out, because here we can't allow you to speak. But if you have your question typed out, just put them in the comment section. Then at the point of what's it called? At the point of the Q&A, you can simply ask your question. So we have about two speakers that are actually here with us already, and we'll just be bringing up Mr. Joshua back on stage. So hi Joshua, can you hear us now, or can you speak now? Hello. Oh my gosh. Can anybody hear me? I think I'll have to bring somebody up on stage again and ask if you can hear me. Sorry, Dorcas, I'll have to bring you up. Hi, Dorcas, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure, I can hear you.
Oh my God. So, ah, Mr. Joshua, it seems like we're going to have a special session with you on Google Meet. I think we can actually do something like that. Yeah, I think can you unmute yourself now? Yeah, just unmute yourself. Okay. Ah, Joshua. The gods of Futa is saying you should keep this secret that you want to spill. Oh my gosh. I would have really loved to hear you speak. But seems like we can't hear Joshua at the moment. But definitely, even if we can't hear him now, we're going to be having another special session with him. So maybe we'll fix a date. For those that are in the Study Booster community, you will definitely get to know about that. So we'll fix a date and maybe we'll do that in a Google Meet session. Okay, so one of our other speaker, two of our speakers could not make it here, and that's James and Mr. Solomon. Those are like the best graduating students in Uniben and Uniport. So maybe in the next session that we'll be planning, we'll just have the three of them in a Google Meet session. So if you are not in the Study Booster community, maybe your friend shared the YouTube link to you. Let me just add the link here for you to join Study Booster. And even if you are part of Study Booster already, but you have not registered properly, it will be great if you register properly because sometimes we might just be sending some occasional emails. Hold on. Study. Okay. We might just be sending some occasional emails and also, in fact, so please let me just correct this now. So sorry. HTTPS. Okay, so you can just type this link on your browser and it will take you to a Google form. Just ensure you fill everything for record keeping purpose. And the book will be launching that carries a list of a whole lot of scholarship that are always reoccurring every year. We'll only be sending it to those who are actually going to be registered. So we'll be sending it directly to your email. So it will do you good that you actually register fully. It's not costing you anything basically. So our next speaker is someone from one of the best universities in Nigeria. Of course, we know that everyone is attending the best university, right? But for one of the best universities in Nigeria, basically, Mr. Ibrahim, if you are from the University of Lagos, please and please join us celebrate your own. And of course, everybody join us celebrate Mr. Ibrahim Quadri. So before he starts speaking, uh, I'll just do a little introduction. So let's get it. So Mr. Ibrahim Quadri is a well organized individual who is passionate about learning new things, both personally and professionally, while using initiative for developing effective solutions to problems. He is a one-time best graduating student at the University of Lagos Humanities, also the best graduating student of the Faculty of Management Science and Department of Accounting. He was also a beneficiary of Total Energies, Jim Ovia Foundation, and Itwa Igodalo Foundation Scholarship. That's a lot. Ibrahim Quadri is currently a consulting intern at EY and is consistently aiming for excellence personally and professionally. So before Mr. Ibrahim comes up to speak, let me just throw a hint about Jim Ovia scholarship. I would have literally gotten a Jim Ovia scholarship in my 100 level. But because I didn't have access to information, my phone was bad in my 100 level. In fact, I didn't even have a good phone in 100 level. And because of that, I didn't get the information. And some of my other friends, literally my two classmates that applied for that scholarship, we were almost at the same range of CGPA. In fact, one of them said my CGPA was higher than his own. And he got the scholarship. So imagine I had applied, I had heard about Jim Ovia scholarship. I could have gotten it and it was paying them till final year. So but Mr. Ibrahim would definitely share more about that with us. So, Ibrahim, you have the floor. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Hello, can you hear me? Morris, please confirm you can
Yes,
hear
yes,
me.
I can hear you.
Okay, so sorry. There's a little bit of noise in my surrounding. Saturday night is always like one of the worst time in my area. So please bear with me. If you can hear the music going on, it's because of the festival and people are out there doing their carnival stuff. So it's a lot. I'm really sorry. So yeah,
It's
okay. So I'm going to structure myself into like talk about three things. My story going to university, my story university wise in school, and then I'll start talking about scholarship. So for me, going to school was like very tough, honestly, because of my background. And so one of the motivating factors for me actually, I would jam twice. I remember the first time University of Lagos. I had to choose University of Lagos because I had a relative that stays close to school, and I thought, okay, if I stay with this relative, I don't have to worry about feeding. So one of the reasons, so it was more like University of Lagos or nothing for me at that point because I don't know anywhere else I can go because of my relative, the relative I have close to University of Lagos. So I wrote it the first time. I was I think 1.5 short the cutoff, so I had to write like jam again the second time, and one of the like high flyers in that jam. So I got into university, luckily, and then paying. I don't want to go into details of trying to pay school fees and all. It was like very very tough for me on that part. But getting in it was like a motivation. I was like, okay, what are the things I can do? Maybe I get into school that could fetch money. Should I go for class governor position? Should I do something? So I was already looking at all these things. Means I get admission. So it was very very tough at the point. So getting into University of Lagos, I think one thing that helped me is connection, meeting the right people, talking to them, getting to know about their like their experience. It helped a lot, and people underrate this a lot. People ahead of you, immediately ahead of you, it's always very good to talk to them, to hear their perspective about things, to know like they give you the, like direct information on things that can help you excel. And I think this is one of the reasons why I was able to graduate at the BGS Humanities. Like that's non science faculties in University of Lagos. Because I before every semester I meet people, I talk to them about like their experience. They tell me what they like the roadblock for them, and also I try to like get that information before any semester. So then after getting admission, getting into school, um, like I said, the first thing I did was connect with people. I was very close to my course advisor because I knew I would need him at any point. I was very strategic at that point that I need to leverage on relationship. So I was very close to my course advisor. I wasn't the class governor, but I was very close to him, talking to him. And then I didn't have it in mind to be the best graduating student. I was just like, okay, I just want to have first class. And then after my first semester, there were 7 people on 5.0. I had one B that semester. 7 people on 5.0 in my class, and my course advisor like would like give them some gifts, textbooks, mom, and cash. So that was like, oh god, this is another opportunity. So it was more about monetary what's it called for me. So that was like a motivation. The next semester I was reading all through. There was even a semester that people, like a lot of people were just a lot of B's and C's, and I was the only one on 5 point that got 5 point that semester. So like motivation was external and internal also. So there were a lot of roadblocks, of course. University, my year three second semester, I had to be, that was my first time having to be in a semester. And at at that point, anytime I see a white paper, I get scared because I'm not used to. I After my first semester, I didn't have any B, so just 5.0 straight for 4 semesters. So those B was like a shock to me, and the next semester it affected me a bit because I was a little bit. But like I said, I had a good support system. My course advisor was there for me. I could talk to him any point about my worries, about different things, and then always like giving me support and all. So that's like it helped me in that part. So yeah, about scholarships, I was lucky enough to be awarded about three. I can remember three. I know there are some that no name scholarship that the department should just call you for. I can't remember them, but I know I can remember three. Total Energies, Jumovia, and then Igudalo, through Igudalo Foundation. So I think one thing people need to know about scholarship is that you have to be people are just like let me just say they don't want to go through stress. They don't want to stress themselves for it. And especially if you have parents that are giving you money at home and then you feel like, oh, this thing is stressful. There are some application that you see and then you are there, you are spending more than 2 hours on it. And then another difficult part of it is getting signatures from lecturers. Uh, that's like almost very difficult for almost like for every student we talk to them. But for me, it was very easy. Sometimes there was a time during COVID, I sent my documents to my course advisor and then he sent it back to me. So it was one that did everything. So like that was how relationship helps sometimes. So you just have to like have a good relationship with everyone, with your seniors also. Uh, First thing I did initially, I highlighted almost every scholarship that I can apply for, and that was through someone experienced. Someone gave me the scholarships that I could actually be looking out for, and then I was able to join a community. There was a community among the last there. I think my faculty, I can't remember who added me. I was in that community. Anytime the scholarship comes in, I get the information and I apply immediately. So I tried total in my first year, even though I was not qualified, I didn't get it. I got it in my second year, and then Jimovia also. Jimovia is actually one of the easiest scholarships to get because you are not writing any tests. You just apply, just have a strong application, and then they give you the scholarship. You are not doing any other thing, just a strong application. And considering the fact that you have your comfort of your house, trying to apply to a scholarship, you have all the time to prepare, all the time to write a compelling essay. So you don't even have to worry about any test. So as long as your essay is strong and you have a good standing, you get it. And it's not always about first class for them. I think I've seen someone on second class offer getting Jimoga scholarship. That's even total also is that easy. Um, yeah, so you just look out for the scholarships. Have a strong, compelling essay, and then make good connection with people. I think if you have all this, it's going to help. And luckily for you guys have this community. I want to applaud you for this community because it's something like a lot of people benefit from. Imagine you don't have to stress yourself about looking out for scholarship yourself. People are just like you just get people that for free. They're giving you the opportunity, sending you links to apply to scholarship. I bet you want to utilize like you just want to utilize that opportunity, and I really commend the organizers for this. Um, yes, I think that I don't want to ramble upon like start talking about a lot of things. I think I'll just stop here. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ibrahim. I believe we've been learning a lot from our speakers. Uh, Starting with Mmesoma, Dorcas, Susan, Ibrahim, and definitely others couldn't join us because of the network connection. But then I believe we've definitely learned a lot from their scholarship experience. We've heard, let me just bring them all. Okay. No. So if you have any question, kindly just, if you have any question, just drop it in the comment section. If you don't drop your question on time, we might just end the live stream and you'd keep your question till our next meeting. But basically, thank you very much, Mesoma. Thank you, Ibrahim. Thank you, Dorcas, though Dorcas is not here right now. But a big thank you to all our speakers. And if you have any question, kindly drop it in the comment section. Okay, seems like there are no questions. Seems like they got everything clearly.
That's weird.
Yeah. Let's just stay hold on a bit. Okay. Okay, someone just asked now, said, how easy could it be to get our departmental signature? So who's gonna answer that?
Can
Uh,
I take that?
yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if I can relate with everyone's experience, but for me, I think relationship helps a lot. Departmental office, there are people there, about three or four of them. I have a friend among them. They are very easy people to go to talk to jovial with, very easy people. So if you have a good connection with at least one of them, and then your course advisor, because that's the person that push for you just had a good relationship with these people, and I think everything is very easy. There are gatekeepers. Gatekeepers are those in the departmental office. They are the one that would give a letter to the HOD. So if you imagine having a friend among them, maybe give them a tip and then they help you. So I think it's just the relationship. Just try to build a relationship with people that like the gatekeepers. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you very much. I think that's a very valid point, which is giving them a tip. Not that you get the first scholarship, you can't even say okay, this 1K, or you even buy just a little drink for them, and the next time you're coming again, they're human beings too now. So I think that actually answers it. Then, mostly for those of you that have probably not got into school, you're planning to get into school, or maybe you're even in your 100, 200, intentionally, please mark those words, intentionally reach out to your course advisor. I know there are some departments, although in my department it wasn't like that. Our course advisor was always kind of close to us, so we could easily reach him. Our HOD was not really this someone that's far away from us, but I know there are some departments that it might actually look like that. So you must always be proactive in terms of building that relationship. Mmesoma, let's just hear from you. What do you have to say about this from your own perspective, basically?
Okay, hello everyone. So could you reiterate the question again? Hello?
You said what?
I said, could you reiterate the question again? Could you
Okay,
ask the
the
question
question
again?
is how easy is it to get signature? Because a lot of people are like this departmental signature sometimes maybe they may submit and they don't get a reply.
Okay,
And
so
this
I
right.
can't answer for you because I don't know how your department is, but let me answer based off my own personal experience. So I would say that what I try to do every semester when I noticed when I noticed that I was on this search for scholarship, or when I actively became in search of scholarships, what I did was after every session I collect. I'm talking about results first of all before I go to the signature. I went ahead to collect my statement of result or unofficial transcript from my department at the end of every session, so that it's not during, maybe you want to apply for a scholarship during break or something of the when lecturers are not in school, and then you would start begging them and they will not do anything about it. So the key is just to take a proactive approach and get closer to your lecturers or anybody that help you, and see, don't be scared at all, because you're not the first person to apply for scholarship in that department. So you'd be losing thinking that you're the first and maybe shying away or wondering how you're going to ask them. Don't worry, a lot of people have done that ahead of you. So please be very proactive in your approach with engaging in your lecturers to get signatures or your results. Any document that is required from them, try to get it before you even apply for the scholarship and keep it, so that that time you will not start rushing them. These are lecturers; they have their own time.
Thank you very much. That was a very great perspective. Which is most of the signature that you might even need is actually like the results. So if you actually apply for to get your results transcript for your like last semester or last session before you are going on holidays, it will actually make more sense. And I think a lot of students think they can't actually ask for result transcript. But it's so funny. It was later I even know that we could even ask for your last session result and just get it like it as a transcript. But a lot of students do not know, so they always wait till scholarship is out and maybe there's delay and you actually miss it. So before we move on with the questions, Mr. Joshua said his mic is okay now. So can you
Let
just say
me check.
something?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, but it's quite low, so maybe you could just increase your volume a bit or your voice.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's nice being here. I'm so sorry about the network issue, the settings and like. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh my.
Can you see me?
Is it only from my end? It's actually low.
Oh, really? I'm coming.
Oh, we lost him again. Ah, we're not supposed to spend more than. Okay, let's see. Okay, someone is asking, is there any specific criteria these scholarship bodies look at when shortlisting? Actually, we're not the ones who are shortlisting, Shabo. Uh, okay, Mr. Joshua is here again. All right. Hi, Joshua.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Ah, perfect.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about the network issue. I went down to my village and the network here was just another thing entirely. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, so we can
Yeah, so
actually one.
can I speak? Can I move on?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. So now I'll have to round up everything as far as possible. And I'm talking about the academic excellence as a total graduate. Yeah, I do my studies. I am this really helped me do my own journey back up with hard work and prayer. So as a student, you can't do away with prayer. So in anything you are doing, as you are doing that hard work, consider God factor to pray to contribute to the movement of God's work and the likes, and God manifest Himself in your endeavor. So in my SWOT analysis, I am a guy that like calculations. So since I know that okay, this is my strength, so I didn't really spend much time on calculation. In the sense that okay, with this time, I can catch up with anything that I might be missing, or just for me to pay for my exams and the likes. But then I'm not really someone that like long reading. So as such a person, I have to segregate all this my coursework into a section and say that okay, I for examination. So this really helps me. And part of the opportunity that comes with this, which is the whole part of it, is I have friends that we study together. Yeah. And luckily reaching out to senior colleagues, we get some materials from them. So this really helps us in preparing for school activities. And the threat part, you can, I don't know, this maybe can be in footer, or I'm pretty sure it will be all school all around. So most times this threat part includes impromptu tests in the sense that you just have to be paid before going to classes. You can just be shocked, okay, take sheet of paper, do this, then, and then you just do the test. And sometimes you can actually read thinking, okay, it's like in class, they can teach you how to cook rice, and in the exam, or telling us how to make a fried rice suitable for a buffet and the like. So you can be shocked in the exam. So this part of the trade, but then with preparation, just like someone said earlier, that we should be 1% ahead. So most time, even when you're reading normal stuff, we still go ahead to do some. It can be 5 years, 10 years past questions just to prepare ahead. And with God's grace on our side, here we are, we graduated. So that's that about the stuff. So now talking about the scholarship part, yeah, I'm sorry. I want to use this thing. I saw Shege when applying for scholarship. it wasn't a cakewalk for me. No, I struggled. Yeah, because with the mindset of entering on the level was okay, if you can have a good CGPA, then you are qualified for scholarship. But no, this might not be the case, or yeah, this might not be the for all cases. Yeah. First semester I had 4.86, thinking okay, this is at least for me to get scholarship in another level. But then I applied for Agbami, I applied for all those on level scholarship that I can't even remember now. I was like, I didn't get any of them. So I was like, God, what is happening? So on level, I still even have like by the time I enter into I still have like a good CGPA where I mean more better than the other level. So with this, I was like, okay, yeah, probably my 4.86 is not enough. Now I'm on 4.93. Okay, we might say that I'm going to get a scholarship. But then I was also shocked. So I was not like, okay, something is missing. First thing, I didn't acknowledge God with this scholarship. I was like, okay, it's something I can't achieve with CGPA alone. And the second thing I can say might be the issue is information. So that's why you are here. There's some information you get to know now that okay, there's this scholarship, there's this apart from all this IOC, I mean international and all companies, all these chevrons and share and lies that are giving out scholarship. There are also other scholarship that you can apply to and they are also paying, though they might not be up to this thing. So then I think in 2 level, another level, this PTDF came out and another thing I'm going to chip in about this PTDF, those that apply, I don't know, maybe the other beneficiary here apply with maybe we are the same set. There is 500 now that they told us to pay for them to verify our NIN. Most of my colleagues then didn't do it. They were like, okay, this is a scam. That why would they be asking for 500 naira? Like probably they want to gather the whole money to now pay maybe two to some. I mean, limited students. Like I was like, okay, either this thing is a scam or not, I'm going to give it like I'm going to try my own luck. So I and I think a friend of mine we applied then, and along that period, some people are actually facing some challenges since that the 500 they paid, there was an issue, they have to pay again. So most people are not thinking, okay, this actually is scammed. So immediately after completing the application, there was this COVID-19, there was a COVID-19 pandemic came in, and then for like a year, we didn't hear from PTDF. I was like, okay, this one that I think I applied to, and then I had is the highest paying. Then it was 600,000. Oh, yeah, I'm coming back to that. So we shall try our luck. Now for a year, we didn't hear from that. I kept applying for other scholarship, and I had an issue with MTN. MTN released their first link that they released during that time. I want to apply. I was at 10 level then. I submitted my application for that. Later on, I was told that they released another link. So I was being careful that because apart from I think one of their instruction was that draw application be nullified. I mean they are going to cancel it. So I was like, maybe the first one that I apply will still stand. Unknowingly to me, they could actually cancel the first one. So I didn't apply for the second time and then I couldn't get it. I was so pained. But then I was like, okay, probably it's not in God's plan for me. I locked up. So I applied for FSB 3 times and I got it during my third time. So I was like, okay, something is happening. Because then I mean, I did this test very well. FSB test was actually simple to me. It was very actually simple. I was like, what's going on? But then you should know something that all the scholarship they are based on your state. Don't be surprised that someone with a CGP or maybe 4.50 from maybe Kogi State might be getting some scholarship whereby you with 4.80 in Osun State might not get. So take note of that. First time your state of origin might actually be one of the reasons. Probably those that apply for that scholarship that meet the same criteria, they have is higher CGPA than you, and they also maybe other things required for the application must also be there that is better than yours. So that might actually be an issue too. So then I was now thinking, okay, maybe this part and are part of it. So the third time I want to apply for FSB, I tried something new. I don't know, maybe that's why I got it, but this is what I did. My first and second one, I used an email, every detail. So the third one, I now tried to change my email. So I created another email, but other information remained the same. So I don't know, maybe that is the reason why I can't say. But then I got FSB NA the third time. So apart from that, there's some of these maybe the one from my I got other small scholarship like that. Yeah, the pay might be 50,000, some might be 50,000. I think that's the range of it, 50,000, 100,000. So, but then when I'm talking about this PTD, so I think that was last year, February. PTD reach out to the applicant. Then I was not like, okay. But before then, you have telling us to update your profile, this and that. So I kept on doing that. That was giving me hope that okay. But along the line, we just told us okay. I got qualified for this and doing the law course. It should be 4 years actually, but it was reduced to 36 months, which is 3 years. And then we are lucky, they increased the pay. So I got the first pay, which is 1.2 million plus my school fees for my 300 level. I'm right. So that was how we got it. The second was paid last year, and then that was how the journey was. So one thing, let me just try to summarize for you. Scholarship is actually real. I mean, it's very, very real. But then forget that it's based on your CGPA. Your CGPA is one of the criteria, but then there's other factors which involve you getting the right information and you also praying about it, because it's go beyond just I'm qualified. No, sometimes you need to see God's face concerning some stuff so that God can just have favor on you so that you can be qualified for all these things. Yeah, because then until I put God factors in it, that was when things start moving. And beyond that, I'm also excelling academically, so that it's not like okay, I relent on my academics. Also, I am improving academically, and God gave me PTDF and FSB, that major scholarship, to help me. And my 500 level was just like okay, the billing part of it, a PTA will cover for it, and come and see me. Just I'm not boasting, but I'm just thanking God because all this pay for this clearance and like God really provide for me through PTDF to clear those bills. So scholarship is a good thing, and I'm glad that you guys are here. This is where you can get information, and the book that Mr. Morris was trying to know is about to launch or has launched. I'm very sure that you guys should check it out, and I'm very sure you can learn from the best. So thank you for having me, Mr. Morris.
Yo. Thank you very much, Mr. Joshua. That was insightful. And that was actually, it seems like every speaker was just coming from a different, or like, there's this thing that I learned was in 100 level, converging stuff. But coming from different perspectives, but still converging at the same center point, which is scholarships are real and there are different criteria. So you've if you definitely listened all through the sessions, you pick something from someone. You pick something from Mmesoma that said, "Oh, there were some particular scholarship that were just focused on just their department." So now you begin to ask yourself, "Is there probably a scholarship that is actually focused on my department only? How can I get access on that information?" You would also learn from Susan. She told us she had a very good result, but she didn't apply for much. But for the ones she applied for, she got them. And she actually mentioned one of her classmates that even the guy didn't have up to her CGPA, but the guy was getting a lot of scholarship because he was actually applying a lot. So that should actually send a signal to you that okay, even if I don't have the best results, I should still try and apply for the ones that I'm actually seeing. Then I think someone just asked a question here. She said many scholarships criteria are for the sciences and tech. What about arts? Who's gonna answer this? Susan, do you want to take this? Okay, yeah. I think we have sorry, Susan. Let's hear from Ibrahim. I think Ibrahim is from the humanities and also
Humanities is not art. Humanities means non-science faculties. Let me just put it that way. The
is
whole
is
of non-science.
humanities science?
What do you say?
Is humanities science?
No, when we say humanities, we are talking about non-science. The whole of non-science faculties in Unilag.
Yeah, I think that's what she's talking about. She's
She
saying
said art. Okay. Okay, let me just answer the question. Don't let me bother. Okay. Um. So there, like I said, there are few ones that are streamlined towards like the non-science guys. Total gives everybody. For these people also, federal government scholarship board (FSB), I think it's for everybody also. So just leverage those ones that give everybody. Gemovia also doesn't discriminate; they give anybody. So just select those ones. But the only problem with art students is that most art faculties, you hardly see them with a lot with ICGPA. So you are
exactly.
exactly. So that's the only problem they have, and you are competing with people that have ICGP in other departments. So just look at scholarships that don't really need you to have an ICGP. Like for example, Gemovia. If you're on second class upper, I think you can apply to Gemovia, and you'll do well. So basically, most scholarships are they are structured in a way that it benefits people in management science, social science, and then science and engineering. Because you have, even if you are writing a test, you have to write maths, all the math tests and all those kind of things. And for art students, it doesn't really help them. So I think Gemovia is the only best one for them currently that can really accommodate art students. Yeah, that's my own opinion.
Okay, okay. And also there is one other scholarship, although that's NLNG. I remember NLNG was general, if I'm correct. And another thing too that I noticed about art is that most of the opportunities you may be getting are like essay writing. Uh there are some essay writing competitions I see online. Personally, I do not even used to apply for them because I don't like essay writing. But I know art students that would really be like something that you might really, really love, or that would be like your strong point. So, yeah, you could really like harness that part of essay writing. And I'm very sure there are other scholarships and opportunities that are really still available for students that are not necessarily art students, that are not necessarily science students. Okay, just trying to confirm something. So that's basically there are still some. He mentioned Gimovia. Gimovia just ended, I think, last month. Gimovia, I think NLNG is still general, and there are some other ones. But definitely, if you're in Study Booster community already, we'll be making those research and sharing those updates there. So the next question here is okay. Someone wants to say something. Hello. Okay, okay. I think okay. So the next question here is result transcript the same as statement of results? Let's hear from Dorcas. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, is result transcript the same as statement of results?
For scholarships, like local scholarships, I don't think they usually ask for statement of results. Statement of results is usually gotten after you graduate. If I'm correct, it's after you graduate that you get your statement of results. What I'm familiar with is transcripts that is typically issued after every semester you can get from your department. So I'm not sure the context of statement of results in scholarship. But I think if they're asking for statement of result, then I think they are asking for your transcript.
Okay, okay. I think that actually answers it. But just know that actually most scholarship, if you are applying for a scholarship in 200 level, the basic thing that they might use to judge you is your JAMB result and maybe your 100 level result. If you're applying for a scholarship in 200, in 300 level, they will use your 200 level results. So mostly MTN, it was the 200 level result they use in judging us, and maybe they might just consider your jump result a bit, but the most focus might be on your 200 level result. Then if you're applying in 400 level, you are going to be using your 300 level result. I think the language you usually use is your last session CGPA. So that's
Mm.
basically what most of the scholarship asks for. So just as she said, result is this statement of result now? But I think that's actually clear already. So I think there are no more questions. So before everyone leaves, we just need maybe a one. I don't want to use the word like in one sentence, but let's just get a closing remark from each and every of our speakers, and we'll call it a night. So just as we were saying, we talked about the book. We're going to be compiling a list of scholarships that are available to students, and definitely just put some of the criterias and how you can even ace them basically. So if you registered fully using this link, then definitely you added your email. So if you did not add your correct email, please go and register again because we'll be sending it directly to your email, and also try as much as possible to join the WhatsApp community because more updates will be coming up there. For those that have been part of the WhatsApp community since like last month, you should have been seeing a lot of scholarship. Like I saw a particular scholarship, ASU scholarship, and I was shocked. I was like, ASU where they look for money, ASU is still giving scholarship, but it is what it is, man. So, oh, someone is asking another question. Say concerning the JAM result as a direct entry. How do I go about scholarship that requires JAMB? Hmm. Please, does anybody want to answer this before we just wrap up? Direct entry. Didn't you have JAMB for your first entry, like the first school you entered? Did you not use JAMB? Does anybody want to handle this? Mmesoma, do you want to say something about this? Susan?
So I don't know anything about direct entry process. All I would say is that the person should go and ask maybe direct entry students that have gotten scholarships how they went about theirs. But then I would like to address the second question because it seems this person's school and my school. Some a question from Bright Divine. It seems
Okay.
their school and my school. Sorry, my department and their school are going through the same process. You said your statement of result does not have CGPA. That's different from mine actually. My department gives statement of result, not transcript. So my department will not give you a transcript showing your grades and all other things. They only give you a statement of results saying more like a letter of attestation. This person is a student from this thing and with a CGPA of this, please offer her the necessary assistance. So for most of my scholarship applications, that was what I used to apply because my CGPA was written there. And but but I would highly recommend that you find a way to get a transcript, even if it's go to the student affairs. That was what I did for my PTDF application. I had to go to the student affairs to get a transcript actually showcasing my grades. So I would highly recommend that if you have a transcript, and I don't understand why your statement of result does not have your CGPA. Your CGPA is actually what they are going to look at. I don't think they would have the luxury of time to sit down and look through your entire grades. So yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Although definitely different schools just have how they do it, but I think mine, when there is any scholarship application, there is a particular thing each of the scholarship boards they're actually looking for. So by the time we're sending that to our HOD or to the secretary, they actually know exactly what they're looking for. So there are some scholarship that I applied for back then. I remember MTN. I think they asked for our grades, and when they were giving it to us in our department, they added our grades and put the CGPA. While for some other applications, what they just did was the exact thing Mesoma mentioned, which is this student is from University of da 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 department of this. This is the CGPA of the student, and because it's stamped, the people will definitely believe that. So I think the summary of this all, because there are going to be a lot of varieties in different schools, the summary is get to know those who have gotten certain scholarship in your school. And definitely this platform is already like an avenue for you, because if you're from OAU now, you know that okay, someone got a scholarship from OAU. You could definitely reach out to the person. Then from there, the person can either connect you to another person that is in your department that can help you know that okay, this scholarship, this is how I went through it. In fact, when I got MTN scholarship, there was literally a lady that was already like in the level before, after our level. Am I correct now? Like it was ahead of us. So we had to reach out to the lady, and she told us, "Oh, MCN, you have to write later." They wrote later in their time. Although in our time we didn't even write later again. But she gave us a foreknowledge, and we knew what exactly we were going to be submitting. So it's very important. Definitely, there should be someone in your department that have probably gotten a particular scholarship. And even if there is no one in your department, there should be someone in your faculty. And even if there is nobody in your faculty, I think there should be someone in your school. Okay, so that should answer that. So before you make any application, try to just get to someone that already gotten that kind of scholarship, and they should tell you how they got the CGPA. In my school, we need to write later. There's a sample for the later. So you just have to copy and paste it, change your name, change your mat number, submit, and that's just the process basically. So we'll just be wrapping it up. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you, Bright. Thank you, Monyolua. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Peace. Thank you, everyone. Basically, we're really super excited that you joined us. And to wrap it up, we'll just hear something like a closing remark from our speakers. So let's start. Let's do ladies first. Let's start with Dorcas. Then we'll move to Mmesoma. And okay, we'll move to Joshua, then Susan, and we'll wrap up with Quadri. Okay, so just a one line
Okay.
sentence.
All right. What I just have to say is to everybody is don't give up. Consistency pays.
Okay, wow, that was that's what they mean by give me what I give you. Like when the lecturer says, "Don't do more than this, don't do more than that." Okay, let's hear from you, Miss Summer. I think you're the next person,
Okay, unfortunately, I'd have to do the opposite of what the lecturer asked. Uh, so there's something that's really important, and I'm really happy that each and every a lot of speakers hammered on it, and it's actually the grace factor or the God factor in your application. It is very, very important because you could see people with CGPAs lesser than yours getting these scholarships right before your very eyes. So I think in as much as you put in the effort and everything, you should also acknowledge God while you are applying. Also, platforms like the Study Booster hosted by Morris is really, really important. So I think you should join communities like that that give you access to information. Just imagine just sitting down and then receiving notification that this scholarship is out instead of you becoming a hunter for scholarships. So Morris, thank you for doing this for students. It's a very nice initiative. Good luck in all your applications, scholarships, internships, or whatever applications you're making. I wish everyone good luck.
Yo, thank you, Miss Summer. I think she's the only female engineer we have here. Okay, let's hear from you, Mr. Shegun Joshua. Your one line closing
All right.
remark.
Okay. All I will say is that trust God, trust the process. Scholarship is real, and you are more than enough. I mean, you are more than qualified to get one. And the best way we can ease our parents all this burden is getting one or two or even five scholarships. So and scholarship money is very sweet. I won't lie. So try and get one. And thanks to Mr. Morris, the book that is he has written, so you guys can get a copy. And I'm very sure this is going to help you in your scholarship application. God bless us.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Joshua. Just as he said, scholarship money is sweet. Just imagine you're just sitting down and just receive an alert 300k, 500k, 1.2 million. Okay, let's hear from you, Susan. Oh my gosh, Quadri, I hope it's not
All
that.
right. What I would like to say is, um, okay, I think some speakers already talked about it. It was actually on my mind. Like, what
You
I'm trying to say is
you can say it
much more
anyways.
than your efforts. Can you hear me? That more,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, yeah.
I'm coming. So much more than your efforts. There's something called the grace of God. You guys, you don't want to take it out of whatsoever you are doing, please. Then, and that's thing I'd like to say is some of these scholarships they require that you are still feel that you
Yo,
can
since
relax. No, you
you
still
still it requires that you.
effort.
I don't know if anybody can still hear her, but the last thing I heard was
Can you hear me?
it will require that you. Ah,
In certain CGPs. Can you read?
okay, yeah. I can hear you. You can go on. Yeah, you can go on. You can go on. Okay, so network is kind
Yeah,
of.
so I said some of them require you maintaining certain CGPs. So you don't want to, yeah, so you don't want to relent after getting one. You still have to like maintain the CGP. And I just pray that everyone will be able to get one.
Oh my She can barely hear you. Okay. I don't know if it's from my end, but I can't hear Susan anymore. But just to hammer on the last point she dropped, it requires you maintaining certain CGPA. I know a friend who literally lost a scholarship opportunity because his CGPA for the next level went below the cutoff. So even after you've gotten the scholarship, if you go and relax, you can still lose some. So that's just that. Mr. Ibrahim, let's just say your closing remark. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm just going to say, make meaningful connections with people. Uh, Connections help a lot. I know that. And also utilize this platform that Maurice is giving you. You don't have to stress yourself looking for scholarship yourself. You just get the opportunity. So this is very good. Utilize the Utilize it and then make like put it to the best use. And then pray. That's the last thing. Pray to God. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ibrahim. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Miss Soma. Thank you, everyone that I've actually spoken tonight. Thank you for all our audience. Definitely, these faces I'm seeing here, these names I'm seeing here, I know that one of you will definitely come and be like, "Oh, thank you for Study Booster. I just got a scholarship." And we are all going to celebrate with each and every one of us. Don't forget uh, to share this platform. Tell your friends you are in a particular school, your class group chat. Tell them about Study Booster. Tell them to join this community that is really, really going to help them. And from here, we say good night. And of course, please subscribe to all Study Booster channels across social media. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're also on TikTok. So by the time we share those links in the community, just try as much as possible to follow us. And God bless you all. Good night, everyone.